Morning. Will everyone please stand? Please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us today for the commencement ceremony of the Austin Fire Department's 133rd Cadet class. I'm Battalion Chief Matt Holmes, and I have supervised our training academy while these cadets were there. I will be your Master of Ceremonies for today. On January 18th, 2022, these men and women came together from a variety of backgrounds and communities to undergo the intensive training required to become an Austin firefighter. 28 weeks later, these individuals you are about to meet have succeeded their goal. They have met our rigorous physical, mental, and ethical standards and will now have the privilege and responsibility of serving as an Austin firefighter. Would you please rise for the presentation of the colors, the Star-Spangled Banner sung by Fire Specialist Amanda Bennett, and the Invocation. The Austin Fire Department Honor Guard will now present the colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I will now ask Austin Fire Department's chaplain, Nathan Robertson, to deliver this morning's invocation.
Let us pray. O God, our Father, we come thank you for this day that marks a change in the life of these cadets, their families, and the Austin Fire Department. We thank you for the work that has been put in. We thank you for the effort. But now we pause to ask that you would come and be their guide, be their rescuer. Bless them, bless their families, continue to bless the Austin Fire Department and bless the city of Austin with your presence and your power. We thank you and we glorify you and we pray, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commencement ceremony for the 133rd Cadet class is officially in session. Please be seated. On behalf of the Austin Fire Department and Fire Chief Joel G. Baker, I would like to thank you for joining us for this very special occasion. I would also like to extend a special thanks to the Great Hills Baptist Church and their staff for the use of this facility and their support of our ceremony. Today is a celebration of the hard work, dedication, and achievements of the men and women seated here. They have succeeded in completing the most intense and rigorous fire academy in the nation. Today is also a time to acknowledge the family members and friends who have provided the care and support that have been critical to making these cadets' dreams of becoming an Austin firefighter a reality. This is your day as well. At this time, I would like to recognize the members of our executive team. Please hold your applause until they are all introduced. Fire Chief Joel G. Baker, Chief of Staff Rob Vyers, Assistant Chief Richard Davis, Assistant Chief Andre De La Reza, Assistant Chief Jeffrey Kennedy, Assistant Director Dr. Rennell Paulson, Assistant Chief Brandon Wade, Compliance Program Manager Jennifer Heatley, Division Chief Andre Jordan, Division Chief Eddie Martinez, Division Chief Carrie Stewart, Public Information and Marketing Manager Michelle Tanzola, Division Chief Peter Taliha, and Division Chief Tom Vokey. I would also like to introduce some special guests who've joined us today. Mayor Steve Adler, Mayor Pro Tem Allison Alter, Council members Mackenzie Kelly, Ann Kitchen, Natasha Harper Madison, and Chito Vela. And I believe we do have a 975 rep, Battalion Chief Greg Pope, Local 975. Thank you very much for sharing this day with us. I would also like to welcome first responders, military personnel who are not part of the AFD family, but they are family nonetheless. Thank you so much for coming and joining and in celebrating our cadet success with us today. Fire, police, EMS, and military. Thank you very much for your service. I would also like to thank, behind the scenes of the Austin Fire Department Training Division, that's where the hard work happens. And so people who don't wear a badge, they are the lifeblood of what we do. So I would like to thank the hard work and effort, professionalism, intelligence, and a sense of humor of Cindy Gordon, Caroline James, Magali Pipers. Thank you so much for everything. I also want to thank some of the folks that kind of helped get our firefighters, our cadets, soon to be probationary firefighters, fit. I do notice that they're here to celebrate with you. Sebastian Alave and Austin Womack, thank you. We appreciate your attendance to demonstrate your support for these men and women, and as we welcome them into the Austin Fire Department. Now, I'd like to ask Assistant Chief Richard Davis, who oversees our training academy, to say a few words about our Class 133 team leaders. Chief Davis.
Thank you, Chief Holmes. Before I start, I would like to also recognize Paige Ellis, one of our council members that's here. Please stand. Because of the exceptional work by our team leaders, these cadets are ready to become members of the Austin Fire Department. The team leaders are operational firefighters who volunteer to be mentors for the cadet class and are assigned to the training division for the entire 28 weeks of training. They spend countless hours ensuring these cadets meet the rigorous standards of the Austin Fire Department. Without their support and dedication, it is unlikely all of these cadets here today would have successfully completed the academy. Will you please join me on the stage for a special presentation as I call your name? Senior Team Leader, Fire Specialist Matthew Mendez. Fire Specialist Meredith Gary. Firefighter Milo Benavides. Firefighter Randy Gilmore. Firefighter Ricky Weezar. And Firefighter Trevor Nelson. As a small token of our appreciation for your commitment to this class and to the mission of the deeds, not words, for the entire training division, it is my pleasure to present you with a plaque in recognition of your service. Thanks to all our team leaders and training staff for demonstrating how our mission goes beyond our name.
Team Leader Nelson took me aback. I had to take a look at him. I'm not used to seeing him with that wonderful lock of hair. But he's a hard worker nonetheless, man. Appreciate it. All right, thank you, Chief Davis. Now I'd like to ask Captain David Scowron from our Cadet Academy to come forward. Captain Scowron.
Thank you, Chief Holmes. Because of the exceptional work by our team leaders, these cadets are ready to become members of the Austin Fire Department. Thank you, Chief Holmes. I'd like to invite Lieutenant Quintaro Novejas to join me on stage as we announce the awards for Cadet Class 133. Before we announce the Cadet Awards, I'd like to take a moment to recognize some of our cadets for their actions above and beyond during the course of training. Cadet Canales and Cadet Steely, will you please join me on stage? On May 6th, the class was in New Braunfels for swift water training. In two separate instances, each of these cadets identified a person in danger in the water and saved them. Cadet Canales, on his exit of the tube chute from his skill test, found a girl trapped under the water and was able to bring her out to safety where local emergency responders were able to provide treatment. Later that same day, while the cadets were on their lunch break, a child became separated from her family and fell out of her tube, becoming pinned in the water. Cadet Steely jumped into the water to grab her and pass her to his fellow cadets to get her safely to land. These are the actions we expect to have to take on the job, but these cadets show that we are never off duty and we will always help those in need. Their quick thinking and actions saved 2 young girls that day. In recognition of this, we'd like to present each of you with an Austin Fire Department Challenge coin. Thank you, cadets. Now for the awards. The Hammer Award is voted on by the team leaders. The winner exhibits outstanding effort and dedication to the job, performing at his or her highest level at all times. The winner of the Hammer Award for Class 133 is Cadet Jacob Bishop. Congratulations, Cadet Bishop. The Most Physically Fit Award is comprised of 2 related concepts: general fitness, a state of health and well-being, and specific fitness, a task-oriented definition based on the ability to perform specific aspects of the occupation. The winner of the Most Physically Fit Award for Cadet Class 133 is Cadet Jalen Pilot. Congratulations, Cadet Pilot. The best all-around cadet is chosen by their peers as the cadet who best exemplifies a combination of the skills and qualities that are most important to our training program. Those include leadership, integrity, professionalism, initiative, hard work, dependability, and overall performance excellence. But before I announce the winner, I'd like to invite Fire Chief Joel G. Baker to the stage for a special presentation. Chief?
Thank you, Captain. Family, you look real good out there, but this session is cheering louder than this session for some reason. We got to work on that. If you gave a retiring firefighter the opportunity to take one piece of equipment with them when they left their department, they would choose their helmet. People wear helmets every day for a variety of reasons: construction workers, motorcycle riders, football and baseball players, and the list goes on and on and on. They all share a very similar type of helmet, but none of these remotely resemble the fire helmet. It is a universal symbol of the fire service. Those worn by the earliest American firefighter were made of leather, but their likeness with the traditional helmet ends there. The first firefighter helmet was a stove-type pipe helmet used until 1836, when a New York firefighter by the name of Henry Gradicap changed the whole design of the helmet. See, Gradicap was a hat maker by trade. He invented what we now know as the traditional American fire helmet. It was snapped up by firefighters as soon as the helmet hit the market. It became common to judge those who didn't wear a Gradicap simply not doing their job. Since that time, changes and innovation to the original design have been rather minor. Manufacturers have tried aluminum, plastic, and even rubber. But if you ask a firefighter what kind of helmet they would prefer, their answer will most likely all be the same: a leather fire helmet. As a symbol of that commitment to doing the job, the winner of today's Best All-Around Award will take home this most treasure of trophies, a leather helmet. Captain Skyron, would you please do the honors?
Thank you, Chief. The winner of the Best All-Around Award for Cadet Class 133 is Cadet Aaron Steely. Congratulations, Cadet Steely. Now I'd like to announce the Valedictorian for Cadet Class 133. This award is given to the cadet with the highest overall grade point average based on both the EMT and fire exams. The Valedictorian for Cadet Class 133 is Cadet John De La Torre.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for being here today. It truly is an honor and a privilege and a blessing to be standing here today. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the families that gave up their loved ones to the Academy for the past 28 weeks. I understand that not only the cadets, but also our friends and families have devoted their time and have worked tirelessly to bring us 42 cadets through graduation. That's come at the expense of quality time with children, spouses, friends, family, and so many more. And all of you at home who stayed up late studying with us and waking up at 4 a.m. to make our coffee, doing our dishes when we'd fall asleep with our head in the table and in the books at the dinner table at 7 p.m. We truly could not have done it without you. I'd also like to thank the entire Academy training staff, from our team leaders to our coaches, instructors, PFTs, and the staff personnel that work quietly without asking for recognition. We truly could not have done it without you, and we thank you sincerely. As cadets, we see but will never know the full extent that you've devoted into each of us, and how much you've cared about our success, not only as a class, but as individuals. To our team leaders, us 42 cadets are so blessed to have been given leaders that exemplify the qualities of true role models in the fire service and that embody the values of the Austin Fire Department. Words cannot express how thankful we are to you and to your families for your dedication and care of all of us. Our class would not be the same without you. I'd especially like to thank every member of Class 133. I've loved the time that we've spent together, and I'm so proud to be a part of our family. I moved to Austin just before starting the Academy, and without knowing many people at all. And to be honest, I was scared and uncertain of what the experience was going to be like for me. But I very quickly learned how fortunate I am to know each and every one of you. Every one of you has had a positive impact into my life and into the class as a whole. And I've learned something from all of you. And it's the competitive, resilient, and supportive nature of this class that I'm most proud about. I've been incredibly fortunate to be in this academy, working in a profession where my peers are people that I look up to and admire. And when you're around such brilliant and motivated people, it inspires you. We've been through everything together, from freezing cold mornings to burning hot days, and it's pushed us all out of our comfort zone, and it's enabled us to reach new limits. We'd wake up in the morning tired and sore from the day before, knowing that we were just going to have to do it all over again. But the moment that our class would park our cars and we'd start our day, it wasn't about how many towers we were going to run, or about how hot it was going to be, or how long Team Leader Weezar would have us doing flutter kicks or holding in a lean and rest. But it became more about how much we can endure as a class and as a family to get to where we are today. That attitude and that class dynamic is something that was forged through good times, bad times, and hard work. It's something that can't be manufactured. And it felt like there were just some things that Class 133 could never run out on. Enthusiasm for the job, support for one another, and somehow the amount of snacks that some people could fit in their turnout coats. I know that spirit and that energy for us as we go into our careers is something that we'll never lose. And so I challenge myself and the rest of my class that as we go through our careers, we live out the words that we'd sing whenever we'd run in cadence. Let's keep that motivation alive, never settle, always strive. Thank you, God bless.
Thank you, Captain Skowron, Lieutenant Inovejas. It is now my great pleasure to welcome the Mayor for the City of Austin, the Honorable Steve Adler.
Chief Baker, thank you for the invitation for me and my colleagues on the City Council to join you. Chief Holmes, congratulations on bringing forward yet another class of trained, ready public servants. You know, when I first ran for mayor 8 years ago, if I had been asked what a firefighter did with great insight, I probably would have shrugged my shoulders and said, they fight fires. What I know now from 8 years, watching and learning and admiring and trusting our firefighters, is how much more this job is than just fighting fires. When I say more than just fighting fires, that does not mean that I don't understand what it means to have a profession where you are accepting the responsibility of putting yourself at risk to save others, which is an enormous gift that you give to this community. I'm just saying that even on top of that, I didn't realize that when we have severe flood conditions, it's firefighters that are saving people who are stranded, people that are facing the prospect of losing their lives in a flood. It means that I didn't understand that when our city faces crises like the loss of power in the power grid, and we have large swaths of our community that don't have water to drink, that it's the firefighters, and in our most recent experience, the firefighters' ingenuity that was responsible for bringing water to such a large part of our community. You know, if I were to be asked the question now, what does a firefighter do? I would give a very different answer. I would say a firefighter helps people. A firefighter saves lives. A firefighter helps a community feel safe. and it's everywhere, and it's all the time. COVID hits us. We have people that are living in encampments without homes. We have a virus and the prospect of super spreader events happening to that most vulnerable population living on top of one another. And one of the set of ambassadors that we send into that environment to help protect them, to help keep our community safe, are our firefighters. Our firefighters are everywhere, making us all feel safe. I wanted to be here today because I wanted to say thank you for choosing this profession. Because in choosing this profession, you are, as I said, giving such an incredible gift to the community. The city of Austin is doing really well right now in so many different ways. We have an economy that's on fire, one of the lowest unemployment rates, a GMP which is increasing just off the charts. And we recognize, however, that one of the chief reasons that happens, one of the chief reasons that a community is strong, is because the people that live in that community feel safe. People in Austin feel safe. People in this city respect and admire and appreciate and hold up and are proud of our firefighters and our police and our EMS, paramedics, and other professionals. You know, I had an interesting experience this past weekend. I was in a foreign country with Chief Baker in a city, and we had the opportunity. I had the opportunity to be with him when he went and virtually inspected a fire company at a fire station in that country, and the chiefs across that entire country had gathered to help welcome our chief. And I had the opportunity to talk to some of those firefighters, which was no easy task because my Spanish is not very good, and their English was not great either, so we found that overlapping place where we could talk. But I want you to know just how much respect and admiration these firefighters had for the firefighters of Austin, Texas, for your training, for your skill, how much they aspired to learn what you have learned and to learn from you if that were ever possible. That standing is so special. I wanted to be here today to say thank you for doing that. I also wanted to say welcome. There are 14,000 employees of the city of Austin. It's a large collection of people that have chosen public service, people that have chosen to make their community better, to help keep Austin a magical place, and you're part of that now. I also wanted to be here to add my thanks to the spouses and families and children and parents, because I recognize that the commitment coming from the members of this class becomes a burden and a price that is paid by families. Also a gift to this community. So to each of you, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you and welcome. Please know how proud this community is of your achievement. Please know that this community has your back at all times. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Now I'd like to welcome to the stage our keynote speaker for this morning's ceremony. Homer Robertson, a retired assistant chief from the Fort Worth Fire Department, who served that city for almost 40 years. He was one of the original founding members and a squad leader of Texas Task Force 1, and is also known for introducing first responders in Texas to the developing terroristic threat of fire as a weapon in collaboration with FDNY. Mr. Chief Robertson.
Good morning. What an awesome gathering. Over my 37 years in the fire service, I am just really in awe of what a beautiful ceremony this is today, and what a great job people have been doing to organize this. You don't realize until you have to put one of these on just how many moving parts there are to them. So, it's certainly my honor and pleasure to be one of the first to congratulate Class 133 on becoming Austin firefighters. As I reflect back on my day of graduation in 1985, yeah, you weren't born then, I look back on that day as one of those days that you're going to remember, like getting the day you get married, the day you have children. That graduation day from recruit school in the Fort Worth Fire Department started my life as a career firefighter. And here I am almost 40 years later. I just retired just a couple of weeks ago. So, but I always take an opportunity, anytime that I have new fire families that are just coming into our world, and certainly elected officials. Mayor, thank you for your remarks about the importance of the fire department, and I want to echo that just a little bit. Is that we have a unique response model, like no other department in the city, at the state level, at the federal level. About 350 times today, citizens of Austin and visitors are going to pick up the phone and dial 911. Based on what they tell us in that, Austin Fire Department, and some of you folks are going to be there tonight or tomorrow working on those trucks. 5 or 6 minutes later, we're going to show up. And based on what you tell us, we are going to try to solve your problem. That's really what we are. We're problem solvers. It can be a little problem, or it can be a big problem. We're going to start with 4 people. But if we need 100, we'll give you 100. If it needs 150, we'll give you 150. Whatever that problem requires, those folks are going to be highly trained. They're going to be on the best equipment. They're going to know how to use it. Nobody else can do that. So I always like to remind the elected officials how important it is to support it, but also you new fire families, how important it is you support your first responder. I want to be very candid with Class 133. You have chosen a life of suffering and sacrifice. You may not realize it today. This is a great environment. But the first holiday, the first Saturday, the first birthday, the first Christmas, and you start to realize that you're not going to be able to share that. I'm going to encourage you to take advantage of all those other opportunities. Take advantage every day of that family, of your family, and take that time to make every day a holiday. This life's really like no other life, no other job that you've ever had. There's not going to be any working remotely, okay? We show up every day. And when you show up, they're going to expect you to be there and be your best. You've got to be both physically and mentally prepared the moment you walk in that station door and put your stuff on the truck. I know AFD has worked very hard in preparing you to do that. First, you're in the best physical condition that you've ever been in. I'm pretty sure of that. But our job, our goal really in any fire department, and I know AFD's the same way, is to develop you into a veteran or a seasoned firefighter. A lot of people really don't understand when we talk about what seasoned means. I like to cook. That's my thing outside the fire service. So I thought about, well, how do I relate what seasoned means? So when you go to those fire stations this weekend, every fire station is going to have an old iron skillet in it. Okay? And more than likely, that has outlasted any other thing in that fire station. It may have been there for generations. If you know anything about iron skillets, is that you got to take care of them. But the more you use them, the more things you cook in them, the more you take care of them. You don't wash them with too much soap. We don't use anything abrasive on them to take that seasoning off. For you to be a seasoned firefighter, you're going to encounter a lot of different people out there in the world. Fire stations, citizens, some good and some not so good. When you're doing that, and you're going to go to a lot of incidents, but as you encounter those people each time, you're just like the iron skillet. Each time that you come in contact with them, it's going to put another layer of seasoning on you. And over the years, you're going to have more and more coatings. And it's going to make you nonstick, just like a good iron skillet. You're going to be nonstick because you've got the world around you constantly trying to stick to you. Another part of being a seasoned firefighter is learning the craft. And I can't overemphasize enough about the importance of learning the craft. If you'll look in you're looking at this very nicely done commencement program, one of the things in there it talks about is the core values of the AFD. And under those core values, it says ownership. Know your job. Knowing your job is the craft. Okay? And in this fire service world, it's scaffolding. It's like building a scaffolding on a downtown high-rise in downtown Austin. Is that we have a bottom layer, and that's where you're at right now. You're the bottom layer of the scaffold. You learn your craft, and then we build on that. We add to it. Because we know a great firefighter makes a great driver-operator. And a great driver-operator makes a great company officer. And a great company officer makes a great battalion chief officer. If you miss any one of those steps, you've got a weak link. So work on the craft. You never can really ever stop learning the craft. One of the things that I'm most concerned about, and I know that AFD is working on it, is mental toughness and mental resilience. I'm sure they talked about that in recruit school. Some people are born with a lot more mental resilience, mental toughness than others, but it can be learned. Take time to develop your mental toughness, because there are a lot of stresses and strains in this line of work, as well as stresses and strains in day-to-day life. Your families, okay? I'm not able to go to the ball games, and maybe I missed a Christmas, and I needed, I'm not there all the time. It seems like every time I went to the fire station, something always broke. There was always a water leak. The dog's out. Something. So be prepared for that. Have a contingency plan with your own family. I know during the cold weather, I personally slept on a cot in my office for 5 or 6 days while my family was at home. They needed a contingency plan. Have a contingency plan with your family. What happens when I don't get home during that cold weather event? So I'm gonna leave you with two pieces of advice to kind of wrap up. One is, and I wish I'd have done this as a young firefighter or done a better job of it, is have a book. Get a notebook. Start jotting down things that happen. So many of mine have been lost to time. I have piles of these books, but it's not 37 years worth. Write down the stations you work at. Who did you work with? How many runs you make that day? Crew names, telephone numbers, chief officers you worked with, fires, other incidents that you went to, lessons learned, tricks of the trade. I'll promise you at the end of however long your career is, that'll be a bestseller. Lastly, my last piece of advice, and believe me, I could spend all day. We could take a week. I could take a week with these recruits and talk about do's and don'ts, mistakes I've made, of things I wish I could have done better. But the last piece of advice, you're going to be working with a lot of A personalities, hard chargers. You're also going to be working with possibly members of the public that maybe are having their worst day or maybe don't appreciate the effort that you're putting into that. The best piece of fire department advice I can give you is don't take things personally, even when people mean it to be. Don't take things personal, okay? You gotta be thick-skinned, you gotta have mental resilience, and you gotta have mental toughness. Thank you, congratulations, Class 133.
Thank you, Chief Robertson. And now the moment these men and women have been waiting and working toward for the past 28 weeks, the pinning of their Austin Fire Department badge and the oath of office. Members of the 133rd Cadet class, in just a few moments you will officially be sworn in as members of the Austin Fire Department and begin the next phase of your career. Our badge should always be worn with courage, respect, and a deep humility. Your actions throughout the rest of your career will be a reflection on this badge and all of the other members in this department, retired, active, and future. Wear it with pride, defend it with honor, and always see it for what it is. It's a symbol of the sacred trust between you and the community you serve. Cadets, please assemble. So as I call their name, please come to the stage with the person or persons you have selected to pin your badge. So friends, family members, those who are going to pin the badge to your cadet, please work your way toward that side of the stage, please. Thank you. Adrian Abrenica, penned by wife Mallory Abrenica. Adam Allman, penned by father, retired Rolling Meadows Fire Department Battalion Chief and Kyle Fire Department Lieutenant Michael Allman, and grandfather, retired Arlington Heights firefighter paramedic Bill Allman. Jacob Bishop, penned by father, retired Austin Police Detective Van Bishop. Adam Bowers, penned by fiance Alex King and mother Donnie Bowers. Daniel Bradley, penned by spouse Anna Bradley. Peyton Burns, penned by father Tom Burns and mother Phoebe Burns. Eric Canales, penned by wife Gabby Canales and son Nathaniel Canales. Gerald Carson, Jr., penned by wife Rose Carson. Vincent Maurizio Casanelli, penned by girlfriend Gia Litton and mother Ophelia Gleason. Jorge Castaño, pinned by wife Natalie Castaño. Callie Chittister, pinned by mother Terry Gibbons. John De La Torre, pinned by mother Barbara De La Torre and father David De La Torre. Marshall Dobkin, pinned by girlfriend Kat Harding. Elsie Emanuel, pinned by father, retired Oceanside, California firefighter paramedic Jim Emanuel, and mother Vicky Emanuel. Eddie Espinoza, pinned by girlfriend Samantha Smith. Emilio Farron, pinned by girlfriend Jessica Ramos. Thomas Frinkman, pinned by wife Lindsay Frinkman. This is a TCFP skill. Christian Gopinski, pinned by Father William Gopinski. Christopher Gonzalez, pinned by wife Letty Gonzalez and mother Ermi Bryzix. Luke Hamilton, pinned by wife Danny Hamilton. Hansel Hernandez Rivero, pinned by wife Williamson County Sheriff's Deputy Catherine Hernandez and Father Juan Hernandez. Caleb Lowe, pinned by wife Alex Lowe. Luis Malagon, pinned by Father Solomon Malagon and Mother Rosa Malagon. Alex Martinez, pinned by Father AFD Division Chief Eddie Martinez. Stephen McMichael, pinned by wife Celia McMichael. Richard Montgomery, pinned by girlfriend Hannah Giles. Gordon Murphy, pinned by father, AFD Fire Specialist Dean Murphy, and mother, Lisa Murphy. Dean Nurse, pinned by wife, Tanisha Nurse. Jonathan Palacios, pinned by team leader AFD firefighter Trevor Nelson and senior team leader AFD fire specialist Matthew Mendez. Logan Patterson, pinned by father AFD Battalion Chief Brian Patterson and mother Katrina Patterson. Logan Pennycook, pinned by father, U.S. Navy Petty Officer First Class Edward Pennycook. Jalen Pelot, pinned by girlfriend Miranda Klaproth and brother U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Oscar Pelot. Ross Rhodes, pinned by wife Bellen Rhodes. Joey Signs, pinned by wife Elizabeth Signs and son Ezra Signs. Tyrell Santavy, pinned by wife Hannah McNall and father-in-law Houston Police Officer Doug McNall. Paul Schaefer, pinned by girlfriend Stephanie Fuller. Thomas Snakenberg, pinned by mother Ann Snakenberg and father Brian Snakenberg. Aaron Steely, pinned by wife Megan Steely. Jordan Tahari, pinned by fiance Austin Police Officer Megan Bayer. Daniel Vega, pinned by father Jack Vega and mother Lisa Vega. Mason Wade, pinned by mother Kristen Wade and father AFD Assistant Chief Brandon Wade. Kaylin Wolf, pinned by father AFD firefighter John Wolf and mother Sheila Wolf. Congratulations once again to the cadets and their families. We appreciate it. We're kind of waiting. Kind of happens. Hurry up and wait. It's no different in the Austin Fire Department anywhere else. All right. Chief Baker is now going to administer the oath of office.
Cadets, please stand and raise your right hand. On your honor, will you be loyal to the fire service, the Austin Fire Department, your community, and your family? I will. Will you commit to upholding the highest standards of integrity and character? I will. Will you have the courage to hold yourself and others accountable and responsible for health, safety, training, fitness, and leadership? Will you display the courage to be safe? I will. Will you uphold the laws, rules, and regulations of the Austin Fire Department, the City of Austin, and the community you serve? I will. On behalf of more than 1,200 men and women of the Austin Fire Department, congratulations.
Lieutenant Inovejas, will you please come up here and lead Class 133 in reciting the Austin Fire Department's mission, vision, motto, and values?
Class 133, what is our mission? What is our vision? What is our motto? AFD motto, excellence beyond our standards, service beyond your expectations. What are our core values? Integrity, respect, ownership, discipline. Probationary firefighters, please be seated.
Thank you, Lieutenant Inovejas. Thanks again to all the family and friends whose support and encouragement have made Class 133's journey possible. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the formal portion of our ceremony. But before we go, we have a short video to show you what our newest firefighters have been doing for the past 28 weeks. After that, and once the class is dismissed, there is a designated area in the lobby for those of you who would like to have a professional photo taken. Now sit back and enjoy this inside look into the life of an Austin Fire Department cadet.
Austin Fire Department, Class 133. 28 weeks of fun, baby. All behind you guys. You guys have done it. My brothers and sisters, you have made it through what I am sure was probably the most challenging period of all of your lives. Trying to get through the POs, trying to get through everything and make sure that all the effort, all the dedication that you put into finally being able to step foot off of a fire truck and be named a true and actual firefighter has finally paid off. My brothers and sisters, I cannot congratulate you guys enough, and I can't even imagine how proud every single one of you are of yourselves, and as well as your family and friends that are probably sitting around right now watching you guys graduate. Congratulations again. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I know that first day when I stepped off my fire truck and I was able to fight my first structure fire and I was able to help my first person, it was by far something that has been ingrained in my brain, burned into every single piece of my mind, and I'll never forget it. And I know for all of you, hard work and dedication has finally paid off. And good news is, you guys now get to spend every shift at 2 a.m. waking up, going to toe pain calls, going to all the things that we're like, but I still love the job. So guys, girls, congratulations. Enjoy it. Enjoy every second of it. This is by far the greatest job, the greatest career you could ever have in your lives. And every single one of you have earned it. Have fun, guys. Congratulations. Austin Fire Department, Class 133. Let's go!
Murphy, is it blinking? Yeah. All right.
Class 133, sound off!
These not words! These not words! These not words!
Thank you once again. Great job as always. Firefighter. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Firefighter Tahiri, will you please lead our newest firefighters in the Class 133 and Training Division's mottos and then dismiss this group?